Have you noticed that everything seems more expensive today? Coffee, food, gas, rent. Many people ask the same question. Why is everything becoming so expensive? And more importantly, what can ordinary people do about it? Stay with us. By the end of this conversation, you may look at money in a completely different way. It was another quiet morning. Emma arrived at the coffee shop at 7 o'clock. She turned on the lights. The smell of fresh coffee filled the room. Outside, people were walking to work. Some looked happy. Others looked tired. Emma checked today's prices on the menu. She sighed. The coffee is more expensive again. A few minutes later, the front door opened. Mr. Robert walked in with his usual smile. "Good morning, Emma." "Good morning, Mr. Robert." "The usual coffee?" "Yes, please." Emma prepared his coffee. She placed the cup on his favorite table near the window. Then she sat down for a moment. Mr. Robert noticed something. "You look worried." Emma smiled. "A little. What's on your mind?" Emma looked at the menu. "I don't understand. Every month, everything costs more. My rent is higher. My groceries are more expensive. My electricity bill is higher. Even coffee costs more." Mr. Robert nodded. "I hear that every day." Emma looked at him. "Why is this happening?" Mr. Robert smiled. "That's a very good question. And the answer is simpler than most people think." Emma became curious. "I'd like to understand." "So would many people." Mr. Robert picked up his coffee. "Let's talk about it." Emma looked at Mr. Robert. "So, why are prices going up?" Mr. Robert smiled. "Let's imagine something. Imagine this coffee shop." Emma nodded. "Okay. Every month, the owner has to pay rent. He pays for electricity. He buys coffee beans. He buys milk. He pays the employees." Emma listened carefully. "What happens if all those things become more expensive?" Emma thought for a moment. "The owner has to pay more." "Exactly. And if the owner pays more, what happens next?" Emma smiled. "He raises the price of the coffee." Mr. Robert nodded. "Exactly. It's a chain reaction." Emma looked at her cup. "So, the coffee isn't expensive because the owner wants more money." "Sometimes that's true. But many times, the business is simply trying to survive." Emma slowly nodded. "I never thought about it that way." Mr. Roberts smiled. "Most people don't." Emma asked, "Is it only coffee?" "No. It happens with food. It happens with clothes. It happens with gasoline. It happens with houses. It happens almost everywhere." Emma looked surprised. "So everyone feels it?" Mr. Robert nodded. "Yes. Families, students, small businesses, retired people, everyone." Emma sighed. "It feels difficult." "It can be. But there is another question. What question? What can we control? Emma looked confused. I don't know. Mr. Roberts smiled. We can't control prices. Emma nodded. That's true. We can't control inflation. That's true. We can't control the economy. Emma agreed. So, what can we control? Mr. Roberts smiled. Our habits. Emma looked curious. Our habits. Yes. We can learn new skills. We can spend money more carefully. We can save. We can improve ourselves. Emma thought for a moment. So, instead of worrying all day, we should focus on what we can change. Mr. Roberts smiled. Exactly. Emma laughed. That sounds simple. It is simple. But simple doesn't always mean easy. Emma nodded. I understand. Mr. Robert took another sip of coffee. When I was younger, I complained a lot. I complained about my job. I complained about money. I complained about the government. Emma smiled. What changed? Mr. Robert laughed softly. One day, my grandfather told me something. Emma leaned forward. What did he say? He said, complaining has never paid anyone's bills. Emma laughed. I like that. I did too. He also said, spend less time complaining and more time learning. Emma became quiet. She looked at her notebook. Then she smiled. Maybe that's why you always tell me to study. Mr. Roberts smiled. Exactly. Learning is something nobody can take away from you. Emma slowly nodded. I think I'm beginning to understand. Mr. Roberts smiled. And we are only getting started. Emma looked at Mr. Robert. I understand why prices go up now. But I still have one question. Mr. Roberts smiled. What is it? How can someone earn more money? Mr. Robert looked at her for a moment. That's the question millions of people ask. Emma laughed. I guess I'm not the only one. Definitely not. Mr. Robert continued. Many people think the answer is simple. They believe they only need a better job. Emma nodded. I've thought that. But a better job usually requires better skills. Emma became quiet. So, if I improve my skills, I can find better opportunities? Mr. Roberts smiled. Exactly. Emma asked. What kind of skills? There are many. Learning how to communicate. Learning technology. Learning how to solve problems. And learning English. Emma smiled. I knew you were going to say that. Mr. Robert laughed. Of course. Emma looked curious. But does English really make such a big difference? Mr. Robert nodded. It can. Think about this. A company wants to hire two people. They have the same experience. They are both hardworking. They are both honest. Emma nodded. So what's different? One person speaks only one language. The other speaks 2 languages. Emma smiled. I think I know who gets the job. Many times. The person who speaks 2 languages. Emma asked. Why? Because that person can help more customers. They can work with international companies. They can travel. They can join online meetings. They can read information from all over the world. Emma looked impressed. I never thought English could open so many doors. Mr. Roberts smiled. It doesn't guarantee success, but it creates opportunities. Emma repeated slowly. It creates opportunities. Exactly, Mr. Robert continued. When I started learning English, I wasn't thinking about becoming rich. I simply wanted more choices. Emma looked thoughtful. More choices. Yes, if one door closes, you can open another. Emma smiled. I like that idea. Mr. Robert took another sip of coffee. Do you know what the internet has changed? Emma shook her head. What? Today, you don't only compete with people in your city. Emma listened carefully. You compete with people from many countries. Emma looked surprised. That's true. So, the more you learn, the more valuable you become. Emma looked at her notebook. She wrote 1 sentence. Learning creates opportunities. Mr. Roberts smiled. That's a sentence worth remembering. Emma asked, Can I tell you something? Of course. I've been afraid to apply for better jobs. Why? I don't think my English is good enough. Mr. Roberts smiled kindly. Emma, do you think your English is better today than it was 1 year ago? Emma thought for a moment. Yes, much better. And next year, it will be even better. Emma smiled. I hope so. Mr. Robert nodded. It will, as long as you don't stop. Emma looked out the window. People were entering the coffee shop. Some were talking. Some were working on their laptops. Some were reading books. She smiled. I think everyone is learning something. Mr. Roberts smiled. The people who keep learning usually keep growing. Emma closed her notebook. I don't want to stop growing. Mr. Robert looked at her. Then don't. Keep learning. 1 day at a time. Emma smiled. I will. Emma looked at Mr. Robert. Can I ask you something? Of course. What if I'm too late? Mr. Robert smiled. Too late for what? To change my life. To learn English. To find a better job. Mr. Robert leaned back in his chair. Emma. Yes. Do you know how old I was when I started learning English? Emma smiled. 53. That's right. And how old are you? I'm 26. Mr. Robert laughed softly. You have almost 30 years more than I had. Emma laughed too. When you say it like that, it sounds funny. Mr. Robert smiled. It also sounds true. Emma became quiet. I think many people are afraid. They think they missed their chance. Mr. Robert nodded. I know. I've met many people like that. They wanted to study. They wanted a new career. They wanted to learn English. But they kept waiting. Waiting for more time. Waiting for more money. Waiting for the perfect moment. Emma asked, and did that moment come? Mr. Robert shook his head. No, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. Emma looked thoughtful. So, we have to create the moment. Exactly. Emma smiled. I like that. Mr. Robert continued. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend on your phone every day? Emma laughed. I don't want to answer. Mr. Robert laughed too. Why not? Because I already know it's too much. 3 hours. Sometimes 4. Mr. Robert smiled. What if you used just 20 minutes? To study English? Emma looked down. I could do that. Of course you could. You don't need 3 hours. You don't need expensive courses. You don't need perfect grammar. Emma looked surprised. I don't. No. You need consistency. Emma nodded. Every day. Every day. Even 10 minutes? Even 10 minutes. Emma smiled. I always thought I needed more time. Mr. Robert shook his head. You need more consistency. Emma wrote the word in her notebook. Consistency. She looked at it for a few seconds. I think this is my problem. Mr. Robert smiled. It was my problem too. Emma asked, did you ever want to quit? Mr. Robert laughed. Many times. Really? More times than I can remember. So why didn't you quit? Mr. Robert looked at his coffee. Because every week I noticed a small improvement. I understood one more word. I read one more sentence. I spoke with a little more confidence. Emma smiled. So the small victories kept you going. Exactly. Mr. Robert pointed to the window. Look outside. Emma looked. A little boy was learning to ride a bicycle. His father was beside him. The boy lost his balance. He almost fell. Then he tried again. Mr. Roberts smiled. Do you think he learned in one day? Emma laughed. No. He probably fell many times. Exactly. But imagine if he stopped after the first fall. He would never learn. Emma nodded slowly. I understand. The same is true for English. The same is true for life. If you stop, you never discover what you could become. Emma looked inspired. I think I've been too afraid of making mistakes. Mr. Roberts smiled kindly. Emma, mistakes are part of learning. They are not signs of failure. They are signs of progress. Emma smiled. I'll remember that. Mr. Robert nodded. I hope you do, because one day you'll realize the mistakes you were afraid of were actually helping you become better. Emma looked at her notebook one more time. She wrote one final sentence. Small steps every day. She smiled. I think today was a good day. Mr. Roberts smiled. No, Emma. She looked at him. Today was the first day of your new journey. Emma looked at Mr. Robert. I think I learned something important today. Mr. Roberts smiled. What did you learn? Emma looked at her notebook. I can't control prices. I can't control the economy. I can't control inflation. But I can control myself. Mr. Roberts smiled proudly. Exactly. You are already thinking differently. Emma asked. So, what should I do from now on? Mr. Robert took a deep breath. I would start with 3 simple habits. Emma picked up her pen. I'm ready. The first habit. Keep learning. Read a little every day. Learn 1 new English word. Listen to 1 English conversation. Little by little, Emma wrote everything down. And the second habit? Spend your money wisely. Emma nodded. Before you buy something, ask yourself, do I really need this? Emma smiled. I think I know the answer to that question. Mr. Robert laughed. So do I. The third habit. Take care of your health. Emma looked surprised. My health? Yes. If you are tired all the time, it is harder to learn. It is harder to work. It is harder to enjoy life. Emma nodded slowly. I've never connected those things. They are connected. Your body, your mind, and your future. They work together. Emma looked around the coffee shop. The morning had become busy. People were talking. Friends were laughing. Someone was reading a newspaper. Another customer was working on a laptop. Emma smiled. Everyone has a different story. Mr. Robert nodded. Yes, but everyone is looking for the same thing. What is that? A better life. Emma became quiet. She looked outside. The sun was shining. The street looked brighter than before. Then she asked one last question. Mr. Robert. Yes. Do you think life will become easier? Mr. Robert smiled. Sometimes yes. Sometimes no. Emma waited. But here's something I know. What? If you become stronger, life feels easier. Emma thought about those words. So, the goal isn't to wait for easier days. Mr. Roberts smiled. The goal is to become a better person. A person who keeps learning. A person who keeps growing. A person who never gives up. Emma closed her notebook. She smiled with confidence. I think I'll study English tonight. Mr. Robert laughed. Only tonight? Emma laughed too. No. Every day. Even if it's only 20 minutes. Mr. Robert stood up. He put on his coat. He picked up his book. Before leaving, he looked back at Emma. Remember this. Money can help you. A good job can help you. But knowledge will stay with you forever. Emma smiled. I'll never forget that. Mr. Robert opened the door. The fresh morning air entered the coffee shop. He turned around one last time. "Oh, one more thing." Emma laughed. "I knew you had one more lesson." Mr. Robert smiled. "5 years from now, you won't remember the price of today's coffee." Emma looked curious. "But you will remember the day you decided to improve your life." Emma smiled. "I think that day is today." Mr. Robert nodded. "I believe so too." He walked away slowly. Emma watched him cross the street. Then she looked at her notebook. She wrote today's date. Under it, she wrote 3 simple sentences. "I will keep learning. I will keep growing. I will never give up." She closed the notebook. She smiled, and she went back to work. But this time, she wasn't only serving coffee. She was building a better future. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this conversation, please leave a comment in English. Tell us, what is one habit you want to improve this year? We read every comment. Don't forget to subscribe for more coffee conversations. See you in the next episode. Take care and keep learning.